Well, well, well. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the PJ Campbell Network. I'm PJ Campbell.
I'm Chance Ellison.
This is Chance Ellison. We are live from our little movie studio, if you will, podcast studio.
Yeah.
What do you want to call it? We're down here in Tucson, Arizona. It's been a little bit since we've seen you guys, but good. God, does it feel good to be back? And we couldn't have picked a better time to do this.
I mean, we literally bought all the equipment just for all the shit that's been going down in the last few days. We're just like, we gotta talk about this.
Well, it's not just that.
It's not just that. I mean,
It's not just
we
that.
were talking about doing stuff like for months, and this is basically the catalyst for all of it.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. If you remember back when the Sony leaks originally began years ago, that was right around the time I had started podcasting, and here we were, just starting to talk about we were going to be doing things together again. I was getting ready to relaunch the channel. I had some ideas in mind. And then this happens.
Like, we need something to talk about. What's going on in the world? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
So all of a sudden, Warner Brothers had things happening. Cracker Barrel had things happening. The world's going wonky and weird, and I'm super excited to talk about it because there's so much happening in the world of entertainment right now. But before we do that, yeah, we're back. This is the PJ Campbell Network. This is the PJ Campbell Show. It's been a little while since we've actually done anything with this show. I mean, you and I have done ranking lists in the past with it. We've done all sorts of things, and now that stuff is probably coming back. We're also going to be doing a new podcast series soon, which I'm very excited about. We've already started watching the movies, but we're going to be doing a deep dive on the MCU.
Yeah, something that nobody in the history of anything has ever talked about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who would do such a thing?
Yeah,
I mean, those movies aren't that popular, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, what they make what a $2 billion? Amateur numbers.
Amateur numbers. Absolutely. No one watches the MCU movies, so no one's probably going to listen to this podcast.
No one's going to listen to that one, but you know what? It makes us happy.
It makes us happy. So we're going to be doing stuff like that. We have all sorts of ideas, but that's the one I'm most excited about. I'm also working on a new podcast about all the movies you need to see before you die through the lens of my eyes. And if anyone knows me, that means there's going to be quite the most interesting movies on that list.
I can already tell what movies 1 through 10 are going to be.
I would hope so. You know me pretty well.
I should. Yeah, I should. I'm confident I can go through these movies, go through all these shells, pick 10 movies, and like those are going to be the last 10 in your series.
Who says that there's going to be an order? I might just do it alphabetical so as to like not give things.
You won't. No,
you don't know.
Yes, I do.
You don't know.
I really do.
Oh,
I bet you $10.
All right, that's on.
But no. You can rig that bet.
It was your fault. You're the one who said it.
Well, because you're predictable.
Well, I mean, I am that. But I want to know how you guys are doing out there. It's been a little bit. And of course, if you guys are not aware, we have a Streamlabs. And if you are also not aware, I currently don't have a job. I currently am, well, I guess this is a job. But like comparatively speaking, the Schmodown is coming to an end. So if you guys could hit the Streamlabs, this is also in the comments description below. It's in the comment section. We have a great moderator in Jacob London. He's hanging out in Australia right now. So if you guys start acting out, Jacob's going to take care of you. He's like our Australian bouncer. He's our Dalton.
our Australian Dalton.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually, kind of a reference to the present since they're remaking Roadhouse.
I didn't realize Conor McGregor was in the movie.
I think that was just announced.
Yeah, no, like it just got announced. I didn't realize he was part of the cast. I saw Magnuson, I saw other people part of the cast, but I completely slipped my mind that Conor McGregor is going to be in the movie.
Was anyone asking for Conor McGregor to be in the movie?
I mean, I kind of was.
Okay, great. Now Jake Gyllenhaal is going to star apparently.
I don't know if he can act, but I want to.
I guess we're going to find out.
I want to find out.
How do you feel about the Roadhouse remake? I mean, we really haven't talked about this. Doug Liman's directing it. Jake Gyllenhaal is the star of it. Jake Gyllenhaal in his very much I don't really need to chase an Oscar at this point, so I'm just going to do whatever I feel like doing.
I mean, Nightcrawler's probably. You could look at. He had Nightcrawler. He had. What else? Okja, work with Bungie, like work with like all those like super Velvet Buzzsaw, all those like super acclaimed directors. Did it get him anything? No. But, so like, you know what? This is the time in my career where I can just have. He's picking movies like he already won an Oscar, which he hasn't.
You know what? I'm okay with it.
No, I'm like, I'm
I
not
want
mad
Jake
at
to
it.
have the time of his life.
Well, he also just wasn't doing blockbuster filmmaking. He hadn't like Prince of Persia was just a really just bad sour experience. He's like, you know what?
You
No
know,
more
I had to
blockbusters.
rewatch that recently.
Why?
Because I was co-hosting over on PLD Projects. If you guys don't follow PLD Projects, you should, because I do a podcast over there with Paul Denuzzo called Two Mediocre White Dudes on Film. This is not two mediocre white dudes on film. It's one mediocre white dude on film and Chance. So
and racially ambiguous.
Yes, correct. But we do a podcast right now. We're going through the Halloween series. We just recorded an episode on Halloween 5. I believe it went up yesterday. I had lots of thoughts and lots of words. So go over, check out PLD Projects. I saw he's actually floating around in the chat right now.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Sean, we got Jacob Blunden, Lonely Banter, Jeremy Miller saying, welcome back. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Refism, thank you for the comments on the shirt. Man, it's just good to see all of you. Danny Coast was the first person in the chat today. We got all sorts of people just hanging out. So it's good to see you guys. But yeah, I don't know. I was co-hosting this show.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're gonna do John Carter versus Prince of Persia. It was two Disney franchises that didn't start out.
I don't even like John Carter that much, but like that's no contest.
Oh, it swept. It swept.
I'm like, there's like I don't look, here's the thing. I don't like John Carter. I think the movie is like but it's still way better than Prince of Persia.
Do you like having a place to live?
I mean, I do, but I don't
Be very, very careful with the John Carter slam.
I will not compliment John Carter just to save my room. Like,
you should. That's all I'm saying.
But like, it's interesting just because like, I mean, I think like Roadhouse, they're trying to do like a Roadhouse something for the past better part of like what, a decade.
Yeah,
I think at one point like Ronda Rousey was gonna star in it.
Yeah, those have. Well, this has floated around a lot. Like there was also that direct-to-video sequel a couple years ago that came out. Well, I guess that was probably 20 years ago. A couple of years ago feels like no time at all.
I actually don't think it was that. I don't think it was that long ago.
I can't remember. It's been a bit. Oh, we got Garth. We got Brandy. It's just good to see everyone. Yeah, Jacob, I agree with you. I'll take John Carter over Prince of Persia any day. Prince of Persia,
06.
Not aged well. 06. What did I tell you? It's been almost 20 years.
I mean, still, I thought it was some more recent. Who was the star of this one?
Probably no one. No one was even asking for that movie. Like that was back in the early 2000s when they were doing.
You know who? But you know who is in this movie though? Star of Remember the Titans and Halloween Kills himself, Senor Will Patton.
Oh my God! What does Will Patton do? Is he the Sam Elliott character?
I don't know.
I mean, I've never seen this movie, and I have no desire to.
Jake Busey's also in it.
Oh fuck! Now I kind of want to watch it. I do like Jake Busey.
I mean, I like Jake Busey as much as the next guy. But I don't know if I want to sit through Roadhouse 2 to watch Jake Busey.
Adam Witt is here, man. It's just
Witt's
good
here.
To see.
Hey,
yeah,
Witt.
What's going on, man? Lots of friendly faces. They're happy to talk to us, I guess.
Yeah, I think actually, if she won, she was a better actress, and two, she didn't get her ass stomped in the octagon. I would like to see the Ronda Rousey one.
Yeah,
I just think like a female-led Roadhouse would have been like an interesting take on it, but you know what?
Yeah, but then they would have gotten screamed at for being too woke.
That's true. Well, we'll get to. You can scream at anything for being woke nowadays, I guess.
I mean, that's what they seem to do a lot.
But you know, look, Gyllenhaal, fantastic actor, and like I think Ambulance proves that like doesn't matter how bad a product he's in. I'm not saying Ambulance is bad. I'm just saying like.
He's saying it's bad.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like it doesn't matter what it is. Jake Gyllenhaal will throw 110% of himself.
And that's because that's who he is.
I'm curious if we can get back in like Southpaw shape for this because he's playing like an ex-UFC fighter.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna have to then.
Yeah.
And Doug Liman directing. So this must be because Tom Cruise can't go to space just yet. Because he's not ready yet. He's not ready yet because they still need to film Mission Impossible 8.
Is that not done yet? Is it still doing?
No, because the COVID of it all pushed it back a little bit.
I'm on the phone every day.
Yeah.
Producers.
Look, here's what I'm convinced. They're going to get through either Mission Impossible 8 or the space movie, and Tom Cruise is...
No, don't say it. Don't you say it. Don't put that evil out there.
He's putting it all on the line for us.
He's putting it on the line, and he's gonna make it because Tom Cruise is unkillable.
I hope you're right, but I want to see the space movie. No one's asking Tom Cruise to go to space, but he wants to go to space.
No one asks Tom Cruise to do anything; he just does it.
That's a great point.
no one asks him to do anything. He just does it because that's who he is. He's coked up all the time. But not the coke you put up your nose. The coke is in your soul.
He was born with coke.
Yeah, he has natural cocaine running through his veins.
Wasn't he just on that Mission Impossible Light the Fuse podcast? Him and a bunch of others.
Was
I
he
think.
really?
Yeah, for their 200th episode.
Hmm.
I haven't listened to it yet. I just saw them talking about it. I'm so excited for Mission Impossible 8, by the way. Well, actually, 7 and 8.
We got to get the 7 first. The 7's gonna look.
I feel like we've been waiting for 7 for so long.
I feel like we went for Tom Cruise for so long because, like, I didn't realize for a second, like, Top Gun Maverick, that was his first theatrical film since Fallout. He hadn't had a movie come out in between.
Good dear Lord.
Yeah, it was Fallout. Wait for 4 years, then Maverick.
This man knows his stuff, man.
I mean, I know my Tom Cruise. I know Tom like the back of my hand.
We have Reefism in the chat saying, guys, I'm at the movies tomorrow. Should I see Nope or Elvis? Now, I have two answers to this.
I have not seen Elvis, so I cannot give an informed opinion on that one. But what I will say is, Nope is a really, really good original film from Jordan Peele that I would recommend everybody go see at least once, maybe twice. But
I believe that's, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you've seen both, so you can better differentiate between the two. But I would say purely on principle, I just don't love Baz Luhrmann as a director, so I would say see Nope regardless.
Reefism, the answer is, how much weed do you have right now? Because if you have plenty of edibles and or weed, I cannot recommend enough going to see Elvis as high as possible. I'm not saying that that's exactly what I did, but that is exactly what I did. And it was a joyous experience for myself and the full Baz Luhrmann effect of it all. But Nope is one of my favorites of the year. So I can't bet against Jordan Peele. It's a horror film. So, of course, I'm going to tell you, you should definitely be seeing Nope. However, if you have the chance, you should really see Elvis while you're stoned.
Also, if it is legal in your state.
Well, there's that.
I think don't we have to get that disclaimer?
I mean, probably.
Probably should.
We probably should.
Even if we don't have to, probably should.
Yeah, I guess we shouldn't just be like, anyone should do that in case
everybody, no matter where you live, everybody should go.
There is potential jail time that I don't want to have happen to anyone. Because of us. The worst thing that could possibly happen is we come back and we're like, everyone should watch Elvis while they're stoned, and the next thing we find out is one of our viewers got arrested because they went and were stoned.
Bottom line, if certain substances are legal in your state, which is a lot of states now, so there's a good chance that it is legal in your state.
I mean, here's the thing: we're in Arizona, and it's legal.
It's legal here,
so apparently, we have 666 subscribers right now. By the way, Jesse Swift just put that in the chat. I had no idea. That is kind of perfect. I want more. I would love to get us to 1,000 very soon. I mean,
that shows we should review Children of the Corn 666. Isaac's Return.
We should just do all the Children of the Corn movies in the future, because that Marvel podcast we're going to do is eventually just going to roll into other franchises and other things to talk about.
That's the natural progression after the MCU. What are you after the MCU? Obviously, Children of the Corn.
Yeah, PLD and I talk about this a lot. We were saying that every time we look at the horror franchises we want to do, like, obviously we're doing Halloween right now, but I so badly want to do like Puppet Master, but I don't want to put anyone else through that. Like, I love Puppet Master, but I think that anyone listening to us would be like 3 movies in and be like,
I quit.
And there's 10 more of these?
There's 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, no. No.
I mean, we've got the box set up there.
I'm sure we had the box set. I mean, I have to watch it.
I mean, everyone should watch at least the first 3 Puppet Master movies. And if you're feeling crazy, then you just keep going, because Puppet Master's great in a really terrible way.
I've never seen any Puppet Masters, so I can't really comment on those.
Did you? Well, you know who produced that? That's Full Moon. That's Charles Band, who you just got to witness Charles Band for the first time on the big screen.
Which one was it?
We saw Tourist Trap.
Yeah, like, was it Tourist Trap?
When we had the weirdest fucking experience of all time at the movie theater. Dipper agrees.
Yeah.
We do have corgis here. But yeah, we had the weirdest experience ever when we saw Tourist Trap.
Yeah, we're sitting there, and this like gang of what looks like bikers.
We should preface this, by the way.
Oh yeah, so
this is we go to a theater called The Loft down here in Tucson, and they do an event every Monday called Mondo Mondays. And at Mondo Mondays, they're usually like bad B movies, and it's a rowdy crowd.
Yeah.
And so people are super into it.
Unless they don't understand, then they just walk out like 10
or try to
minutes
start
in.
a fight.
Or try to start a fight.
Things that have almost happened.
Things that did happen.
Well, yes, correct. Because Tucson.
At these screenings, but yeah, we're there for Tourist Trap. You know, we're like, we're ready. We're gonna have some fun. I'd never seen it. Then this group of people walk in.
Yeah.
Like, they look like stereotypical like Duck Dynasty biker type people. They have like the giant beards, the bandanas, the jackets. Are just like, what's going on here? I'm just like, look. I look over to PJ and Tim, just like, look. I don't want to be that black guy. So
yeah,
I don't want to possibly get into a fight over a fucking Tourist Trap. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay quiet. We found out very quickly that they knew what they were there for, but it was weird because like they were talking, but like it had nothing to do with anything on screen.
right.
They're just talking amongst themselves. We're just like, okay, what the hell? And then like there's 20 minutes left in the movie. And the dude starts like throwing popcorn up in the air
at random people.
Because like,
well, then there was the time that one of them drunkenly walked up towards Tim and was like, "Wait, am I going down?"
He walked up the stairs like, "Wait a minute, this isn't the exit."
And Tim was like, "No, you need to turn around and go the other direction." I've never had an experience anything like what happened at this.
I've never seen anybody that intoxicated going to it. Like, you know what we need to do? Like, we need to have kind of like, you know how you can't get on an airplane drunk.
Yeah, correct.
They need to have someone checking how drunk you are going into a movie. Unless like something like really shitty. Like,
although, why would you? Here's the thing: you can't expect people not to be drunk on an airplane when there's bars at the airport.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. Like you can be buzzing, but you can't be too drunk.
Because I've definitely been almost too drunk to be on an airplane. Because we have a great cantina in the middle of our airport.
That's true.
And the cantina has great margaritas. And I usually take early flights, and they have a good breakfast, and alcohol is always served while it's open. So you get some of the food and then margaritas, which is the natural progression of this. Obviously.
But like, if you're so drunk you can't find the exits.
He was walking up instead of down.
If you think the exit is upstairs.
Dear random group of people who we think were bikers and clearly much older than the normal demographic of our Mondo Money screenings, on behalf of myself, Chance, Tim, and everyone else at the Mondo Mondays, please don't come back.
Never come back.
Not that you're probably watching this, but please don't come back.
And
that's fine. You don't have to.
This past Monday we saw Plan 9.
What a great day.
That was our Mondo. We were both like the whole time movie before starting. We were both just eyeing the exits and by eyeing the entrance, just like, oh crap! If they show up, we might have to leave.
Yeah, I was prepared to leave if they showed up, but I also was dying to see Plan 9 on the big screen because I've only ever seen like shitty DVD quality versions of it. Oh, Jesse wants to know, are we going to have this show on a podcast? Yes, we are. I'm going to take the audio later, and the audio will always be uploaded to an audio stream later. I'm probably going to just start Podbean over and bring back the old audio feed. So all the old episodes of the show will be on there. All of my old Real Film Chatter episodes should still be on there. There's going to be all sorts of things for you guys to go down a rabbit hole on, plus the new stuff we're going to be doing. So the PJ Campbell Network, is going to have a pretty poppin' audio stream is my hope, actually.
Yeah, it's open.
But look, I'm happy to be here, man. I'm really stoked. We've spent the first 20 minutes bullshitting about literally anything that is not what's been happening at Warner Brothers, because that's what we do. And this is going to go this way probably throughout the episode. We're really good at tangenting and not totally staying on track. But I know why you guys are here. Y'all saw the thumbnail that I managed to throw together at a very last minute. I've been working all morning just trying to make sure that we get the channel back up and running. So I feel good about that. We're doing pretty good. It feels good to have it going. We've rebranded. Oh, we have merch. Did you guys know that? We have merch again. And not on, like, the TeePublic store will still be open for a little while, and I'll put a link for that in the description. But we have new merch because Streamlabs has a merch shop, and you can go and check it out. There's a link down in the description if you are inclined to get a mug or a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or a hat. They have hats now. Isn't that great? There's some beanies too.
Ooh, beanies.
I might order a beanie because you know how much I love beanies.
So much so that the Dutch people of Dutch Bros will call it out.
Yeah, well, not just it happened last night too at Caps.
Did it really?
For trivia night because I got there and
were you wearing a Caps beanie though?
No, I wasn't wearing any beanie. I went with no beanie.
So they didn't recognize you.
It threw them off because they were like, we didn't know that a no beanie was like an option for you because I almost always wear one.
That's like me whenever I wear like any other color but black or like a hat in public. You're just like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, man. I'm just like, I love a good beanie, and you know that. But you're right. There was absolutely someone who at Dutch, which is a coffee place down here that we go to very frequently, that commented on that last week or the week before because I was wearing a beanie, and she goes, "It's been raining. Is this a choice because it was raining, or is this just how you dress all the time?" And I was like, "I always wear a beanie. I love a beanie. A good beanie goes a long way.
This is just your day to day.
I like a good beanie.
Good beanies are nice.
But I didn't wear one today because I felt like you guys deserve to see like what I look like without one. I mean, the other thing is if you look at the thumbnail for the PJ Campbell Show now, it has me with a beard still. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't have the beard anymore.
I do miss the beard. I will admit, I do miss the beard.
You know, it's been like 6 or 7 months. Right?
I can still miss the beard.
I know, and I appreciate it, but I don't know. I stopped once I shaved it the first time.
It's like when Mark Hamill shaves his beard. Like it's gone, but I can still miss it.
Mark Hamill's beard is elegant. By the way, did you notice that your dad is watching you from behind us?
What Dad's watching?
Yeah, look.
Oh, from the poster. It's like I thought you were like using the chat.
No. It's just because I noticed I can see Mark. It's that old Back to the Future poster. But Jeremy says put on a fake beard. Brandy, I put you back as a moderator, by the way. I saw that you were like, mods, put the link in the chat. But I appreciate it. Brandy's always been like the best at modding this channel, and we got Jacob in there. Yeah. So we got the Australian Dalton and Brandy.
Which is the American Dalton.
The better Dalton. Of the two, not of like not that I don't love both of them, but look, guys, Patrick Swayze.
Don't disrespect Swayze.
Yeah, we got to put respect on Swayze. We don't speak ill of the dead.
Now, granted, Dirty Dancing 2, which is happening, not Havana Nights, the one they're doing with Jennifer.
Well,
Grey.
That's also not Dirty Dancing 2. That's a prequel.
No, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the one they're doing with Jennifer Grey, where I guess it's about her and like their kids.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, like you're doing like you're missing one half of the equation.
Didn't they also like not get along? So it feels a little weird. That's what I've heard is that they didn't really get along. So Jennifer Grey producing this without him almost feels weird.
Feels like a middle finger to the grave.
Yeah, like they waited all this time to do a legacy sequel to Dirty Dancing that no one is asking for.
I mean, Jerry Orbach's gone. Patrick Swayze's
they still have
gone.
Wayne Knight.
Wayne Knight wasn't the first one. That's
right. Yeah, he's the camp DJ.
Yeah, and Kelly Bishop still alive, still kicking. So
yeah, but apparently Jesse keeps talking about the goddamn Sandman show, saying that we all need to be watching it. It drops tomorrow. There's too much stuff dropping.
How are you supposed to watch it if it's not even out yet?
Yeah, apparently he got a screener of the first episode, is my guess. Okay. I don't know.
Well, look, I mean, I'm excited for Sandman. I mean, I like Neil Gaiman as much as the next guy.
Yeah, but this is one of those. It's been around for a long time, so I'm not like I've been waiting for it, and I don't know if it'll live up to my expectations.
Remember when Joseph Gordon-Levitt turned down Ant-Man to do Sandman?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember that.
Great, he didn't know at the time, but oof. It's fine. I always thought Sandman would make a really good animated property.
Honestly, they almost probably would have been better doing that, but ultimately, I'm glad that they're still doing it. Like
I've just seen the way like Spider-Verse turned out. I'm just like, you know what, Sandman? That's like perfect to be animated.
Oh, dude. We already got like a bunch of Streamlabs, so I'm gonna go through these real quick before we get into the nitty-gritty of why a lot of you are here. I think that we know why you're all here. Oh yeah. What is this, Kool-Aid Man?
Oh
yeah. We've been watching a lot of American Dad. Speaking of, I'm just thinking of the Seth MacFarlane.
I've been showing you a lot of. I'm taking you through a lot of because you hadn't seen a ton of it, but like
no, I had.
I was talking to you about. I was saying like there's some
really big Family Guy guy.
I know, but like American, I thought American Dad would be up more up your alley because that's more like character-driven comedy and also a little more mean-spirited than Family Guy, except for recent years because some of the jokes they make are just like wow. But yeah, like American Dad has some like legit incredible episodes.
It's very funny.
Which
I'm
I'll be
very much
showing you.
enjoying it so
Yeah.
far. I'm looking forward to watching more. We watched a great Christmas episode one
Yeah,
yesterday because even though we missed Christmas in July, we watched it in I guess
August.
August.
I mean, still that's for those of you wondering, the episode's called "For Whom the Sleigh Bell Tolls."
Yeah, it was very good. If you've never seen it, you should check it out. Garth McMurray donated some money to us.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Garth. He said, I can't afford to help you pay your bills, but here's a little cash to buy some doggo treats. Welcome back, PJ. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Really, really. Look, it goes a long way, and I appreciate the thought. Suge Knight 323.
Oh,
Suge. I like Suge. Suge's a good dude. Just stopping by to show some support to my favorite people, PJ Campbell. Much love, brother. Is that Chance Ellison, a.k.a. the GOAT, a.k.a. fellow Steelers fan, a.k.a. the Cobra? Hope both of you have a wonderful day. Well, Suge.
Steelers gone Super Bowl.
Number one, thank you so much. It's really wonderful to hear that from you. It's good to hear from you. It's been a
It's
little
funny
bit,
you
man.
bring that up because one of the ideas I floated to you is I want to do like a weekly football stream on this channel.
Yeah, it's gonna have nothing to do with me.
It got nothing to do with you, but like
except
I'll somebody
Mike
else.
Deacon wants me to join your guys' fantasy football league.
I heard that. I'm like, you do realize PJ knows like jack shit about the game of football, right?
Well, he really wanted me to join. He goes, no pressure, and I should text him back. I forgot to. I'm very bad at texting. I apologize.
Yes, I get that. She's very bad.
I'm very, very bad at texting people back, but it was very funny. He was like, do you want to join? And I was like, I don't know if I want to join. I should probably. Just to see what happens.
I mean, look.
Should I do it, guys? Chat, sound off. Should I join a football league, a fantasy football league, even though I know nothing about football? I'd be very curious to see how that plays out. To be honest with you,
I mean, you picking your team would be like essentially like the basis of like auto. It'd be just like auto drafting, but you're actually picking people.
Yeah, I'll have you help me at least.
Yeah,
when are we supposed to do the draft?
September.
So I got time to choose.
Yeah, we got time. This preseason starting today. Actually, we're having the Hall of Fame game right now at Canton.
Oh.
And preseason a few weeks after that, and then regular season starts.
Well, great. We'll see how this goes. I'm curious. Samir donated. He said, "Sucks about losing your job, bro. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Look, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty about it. I am very sad that the Schmodown is ending. I'm sure that you and I will do a wrap up show after October 9th. Once everything is said and done, we'll probably get PLD and some of the others to come stop by, talk about their time on the show, and we'll make a thing of it. It's a bummer. I'm going to miss the show, but I don't think this is the end of you and I doing trivia. I think we've got some plans to do smaller things here for fun. Like we've talked about doing streams later in the future. Don't do that. That's not helpful. Go ahead and open that door real fast. We got the corgis in here. Where anything can happen, everyone. Where anything can happen, like corgis having the time of their lives.
I told you it was a bad idea to keep them in here.
Yeah, it happens.
I told you they wouldn't keep them shut.
PLD also donated, saying, "It warms my heart to see you back at home. You're not leaving me now, are you?" No, I'm not going anywhere, PLD. I appreciate that. I already told you to actually pay attention to his streams too. And this is going to go really great because they're going to calm down. And I apologize for the barking. Jake Yakavetta donated, saying, "I was going to say it's good to see y'all, but since PJ left me out of the mod shout-outs, it's just good to see Chance." I'm sorry, Jake. I actually forgot you were a mod on the channel, but we love you for it. So you're the best. Much love, brother. And finally, oh no, we got more than that. John Lestrina donated. "Do you still put milk out and cookies for Santa Claus?" He's quoting Dominic Toretto from Fast and the Furious.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. Because Lestrina loves the Fast movies. One thing I know about that man, he loves them.
You ever been on the Fast and Furious ride?
Yes, more than once.
Not you. I'm talking about John Lestrina.
Oh, I'm sure he has.
I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, that ride is awful.
Oh, it's garbage.
Like that is maybe the worst theme park ride I've ever been on.
Oh, dude, it's the worst. And if you've ever ridden it as part of this tram tour, it's like arguably the worst ending to the tram tour you could possibly ask for.
You want the full experience.
No, I'm not riding it at Universal Hollywood. Or Florida. I'm not doing it.
It's a walk-on ride, PJ.
I'm not doing it. And then Razor Wit donated.
Oh, thanks, Wit.
Here's some folding money to get Batgirl at that Comic-Con bootleg bin. Should be near the David Ogden Sires Justice League. Oh my God!
What was like Just Leave America? The TV one.
Yeah, the TV one. Have you ever seen the pictures of those? It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's amazing. I love it. Oh, everyone's saying I should join I just went back over. Everyone's saying I should definitely join the football league. So I guess I'm gonna play fantasy football.
This should be fun.
This is gonna go very badly. I know PLD is in that league too.
PLD is
that was initially why I wasn't gonna do it. To be honest, I spend way too much time with that guy. Well, I already spend way too much time with him.
Yeah, PLD. Yeah, PLD is in that one. We need new 14s.
Oh, actually, Sean asked if he and I can co-run the team, and I'm all about that.
You know what? Yeah, if you need Sean as a co-manager,
Oh, dude, Teresa's here. Gertie the Dino. Hi,
Hey,
Teresa.
Therese.
She said, the corgis. Now it's a PJCN stream.
Yeah.
So, glad to see that everyone got excited that they, decided to mouth off the way they did. I guess that, the corgis are very popular.
I told you it was going to happen.
Yeah, well, it happens.
You don't listen. You don't listen.
Okay. I mean, I listen. I was hoping that they'd be calm, but you never know. What happened? Was just sitting there?
Yeah, like Rainbow just sitting down there, and then Deborah came in and started.
Yeah, Dipper gonna dip. All right. So I guess it's that time. We should probably get into it. We've been we've been talking a lot about all sorts of things that have nothing to do with the title of this episode. What's the deal with Warner Discovery? I can't do the Jerry Seinfeld. I'm sorry, but I can at least use the way he would phrase things in the show.
Which is ironic because I don't think he ever said what's the deal with anything. I think that's like a big it's kind of like a Mandela thing. I don't think he ever said what's the deal with blank.
I'd have to look, but I don't know if that's true. Maybe the chat can tell us.
Yeah.
Jacob says we're 30 minutes in. What did you expect? What did you expect from this, Jacob?
Yeah. We're 30 minutes in. Be lucky. We could go on for another 30.
Jake Gacavetta said Dipper Gonna Dip needs to be on a shirt in the merch store.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. All right. So as many of you know from what you saw from the thumbnail, from what's been happening in the last few days, a lot of stuff is changing over at Warner Discovery. I think that's what it's called now, Warner Discovery.
Yeah.
Number one, I hate that name. I'm just going to say it right now. I hate that name. But Warner Brothers was bought by Discovery last year in a acquisition, more of an acquisition at this point, really, than a merger, at least on looking at it, because so much of what happened so far over the past 3-4 days, plus even a little bit of last month, Zaslav, the dude who's running Warner Brothers now, or Discovery Warner rather, is just gutting pretty much everything, including canceling the basically completed Batgirl film.
It's funny. After Comic-Con, we were just like, well, there's no way Warner Brothers could look evil, because we had Warner Brothers came to Comic-Con with they came out Black Adam and Shazam. That was really it. We didn't get anything Aquaman.
They really just focused on what was coming the rest of the year.
The two things that were immediately coming, which I'm just like, okay, that's fine, I guess, but it just seemed like a waste of a Comic-Con spot, if I'm being completely honest. But it's okay, fine, whatever. But then Marvel came out with their entire slate for the next 3 years. I was like, oh, okay, Warner Brothers couldn't possibly look dumber right now, right? Well, in comes Zaslav from the top rope.
You've been practicing that all afternoon, by the way. I heard you practicing that line half an hour ago.
Yeah, I mean,
or I guess more than that before we were live is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but my thing is we never seen anything like this. As far as like an IP driven movie that was done,
and
that was made for a small scale, made for a small market, because HBO Max, it's this streaming movie. You don't lose much. It's in a high reward, low risk type movie to make.
Yeah.
The thing is, the movie was supposed to come out later this year.
Originally, it was supposed to come out in December, but we all assumed that
when Flash got pushed, this was going to get pushed.
Yeah, and it would. So, Flash was supposed to originally open in November, and it was going to Batgirl was going to follow in December. So the common thought was that when Flash dropped in June, that Supergirl or Batgirl rather would follow in that July.
Yeah, so we had a feeling that we we're going to see this year anyway, but the fact that you spent what, $70 to $90 million on a movie.
Yeah,
finished it. It was in post.
It's tested.
It's tested a couple times probably, and it was like, nah, we're good.
And not just tested decently. Apparently, its test score numbers, which is being overlooked by an entire core group of rather hypocritical individuals who begged and begged and begged to have a movie made by another director that are now celebrating the death of a movie of two other directors. It is not lost on me, the hypocrisy. But this movie tested pretty much on the level of It Chapter 1 from most reports.
Really?
Yeah. So it was getting very similar test scores.
Interesting.
It was like most people were saying Grace was very good in it. Brendan Fraser was very good in it. There was a lot of talk that it felt a little bit like a TV pilot because it was made cheaper. But also, Adil and Bilal, the guys who directed this, are stupid talented. If you guys watched Miss Marvel, you saw some of their work. They did the first episode of the series and they did the last episode of the series. If you saw Bad Boys for Life, you've seen their work. Again, they're stupid talented. Bad Boys for Life was made for $80 million.
Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like it. It looks better than that.
Yeah. I'm perplexed. We were like, we saw the New York Post article, like, because they were somehow the first ones to break this story.
I called it out because the New York Post is notorious for running nonsense.
Yeah, we saw them. We're just like, okay, sure. Then as the day progressed, as the hours went by, we're just like, what? You're serious?
Yeah, as more and more outlets started to actually report what was going on and that Batgirl was actually being canceled, I started to get more and more angry. I've cooled down a little because at the end of the day, like, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing any of us sitting here can do other than bitch and complain. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bitch and complain because I'm going to be honest. Everything Zaslav is doing is actually kind of bullshit. He's basically gutting so much of the scripted content from Warner's side. He's canceling so many projects. TBS has no more scripted content, basically.
Do they not?
Yeah, that was one of the axes he took was to TBS.
Interesting.
Not that we needed CNN Plus, but CNN Plus was let go. They basically gutted all of the CW shows, except a select few because they're going to offload CW and sell it as a network. Like, he's going through taking a bunch of the shows that were exclusive to Max off of Max. He's taking some of the movies off for tax write-offs. So basically, all he cares about is trying to clean the ledger of debt that they were left with from AT&T in this acquisition. But he's doing it in a way that looks so fucking shady because all he's doing is trying to monetize everything. A perfect example is yesterday we found out that Elvis, the movie we were just talking about, is moving to video on demand next week. Not HBO Max, where a lot of the stuff would go once it was done. No. He's going to monetize it. And also HBO Max is going away. So there's that.
Yeah,
how fun is that?
That's another thing. We're just like,
how
HBO Max.
Fucking dumb are you?
HBO Max is in the conversation for best streaming services right now.
Yeah.
I guess being trashed, which is I thought that was ridiculous because, like, that was the hub for Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, Sesame Street, fucking like a lot of like they had a really good anime collection. I've been told. I'm not the biggest anime aficionado here.
Didn't they buy Crunchyroll?
They did. No. So okay, that reminds me. Thank you. So they had a collection that was curated by people who do Crunchyroll. Okay. So Crunchyroll is still its own thing.
Got it.
But yeah, like Turner TCM had its own thing. DC was a big hub there. It's just like you have like all these like different. I mean, sure, the original content was lacking, and now it's really going to be lacking now. But yeah, like I heard that movie, and just like this makes no fucking sense. And also, I guess because the whole reason Batgirl was, I guess, scrapped was it's going to be used as a tax write-off.
Yeah, correct.
But like I heard that we also heard yesterday that they were going to be doing the same thing with like their Max original movies, but the movies that were already released.
Right, and so as Jacob pointed out,
good.
They didn't even warn anyone. They just pulled those movies.
Yeah, my question is, how can you write off a film that's already been released?
And the weird thing about that is I think American Pickle was actually a movie they initially picked up from Sony.
It was. Like that was one they picked up. Or it's like that and Super Intelligence. Those were supposed to be theatrical. I don't know if they were moved to Max because they were made by WB or whatever, but either way, like I'm just unless you can't buy American Pickle. That's like
I think it's
physical.
Out now, but I could be wrong. I'd have to look. Now, here's the thing. I agree with Sean. The CNN thing would have happened either way. That's 100% accurate.
Oh yeah, because nobody used that service.
But you know what else no one wants? More reality television. That's what Zaslav wants. All the reality television. Like
Yeah.
that dude is so in the he's so in the bag for doing anything on the cheapest way possible, except for the movie side, where apparently he only wants event films. This is so terrible for the stuff that's going to happen in the future, because we're already in a place where mid-range films don't have a place to go. And that's the whole point of he doesn't think he can release Batgirl because, well, it doesn't really fit the theatrical mold. Well, so that means to him, anything that's not an event film, so things with lots of explosions that are going to cost 150, 200 million dollars, he doesn't want to release them.
That's a fucking Michael Bay now. Like Michael, he probably loved Michael Bay working under the WB.
Michael Bay is going to fucking move to WB. Just watch.
I guarantee it. The same. You know that's the trade off. You know, they got their big public divorce, Christopher Nolan, and now they're gonna bring in Michael Bay.
So basically, what we're seeing is a guy, and this is a problem at Disney. It's a problem popping up everywhere, because this is what happens when you have a bunch of people who aren't creatives that chase algorithms. Algorithm-based making things is inherently a problem, because you're just going to get a lot of the same shit. And as we learned today, now they've created a DC Studios, and they're like, well, you know, Feige's the banner map here. Yeah, well, no shit, because they're going into phase 5 of the stuff they're doing. Look, I'm sorry. I don't care if this is a new regime or not. Feige should have been the map forever ago, which a lot of people have been basically saying since like 2016. But this dude is saying that Batgirl he just wants to write it off as tax. He kind of took a shot at it, apparently, calling it, like, without saying it was bad, he kind of took a shot at it, apparently, in this investors call they made. I'm sorry, but the same studio who released Catwoman and Jonah Hex and Superman 4: The Quest for Peace has no fucking leg to stand on in not releasing a Batgirl movie with Michael Keaton, J.K. Simmons, Brendan Fraser, and Leslie Grace. Leslie Grace, who was finally going to get her breakout role as a lead, not like a side character in a musical. If you haven't seen In the Heights, watch In the Heights. In the Heights is fucking excellent, and she's great in it. No. She was finally going to get to lead a film as Barbara Gordon, and she just got it taken away.
Yeah, I mean, it just sucks, because, like, you know, like when like a lot of these roles happen for like smaller actors, like they're like, okay, yeah, there's my chance to, you know, really be at the forefront. And it's like, nah, just kidding. But like, it's funny because, like, yeah, you mentioned, like, where it's like, okay, it was Shell because it's bad. Didn't stop releasing Suicide Squad. Didn't stop releasing BVS. Didn't stop from releasing insert DC film.
Yeah, but you're talking about the Academy Award winning Suicide Squad.
At least they got an Oscar out of it. But yeah, like, I think it's just a wild situation. And the other thing we haven't talked about is I think people who got it arguably worse were the people behind Scoob Holiday Hunt.
I mean, I'll say this: everyone got this bad.
Everyone got it bad. Here's the thing. I think with Scoob Holiday Hunt being animated.
So apparently Jacob gave us the quote in the chat. He said, "We're not going to put a movie out unless we believe in it, particularly in DC."
We don't believe in Batgirl.
You don't believe in Batgirl. You don't believe in movies led by people of color or directors of color.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, if I'm making Blue Beetle right now, I am worried.
Yeah, the director's been liking all sorts of tweets about please don't cancel our movie. That does not bode well.
Don't cancel Blue Beetle. Yeah, I mean, if they cancel Blue Beetle, it's going like a pattern.
Well, I mean, they've already allegedly internally canceled the Supergirl movie on top of it.
I heard about that one.
And look, this is the company that's still sitting here with the Flash movie with a super problematic lead right now.
Yeah, that's the other question. Like, because, you know, I wonder if could they use that as a tax write-off also if they never release it.
What a great question.
Like, because that's a significantly more expensive movie.
Oh, it's apparently close to like
200
to $300 million
yeah.
is the current rumors, because there's been a lot going on. And I, for the longest time, was not necessarily pro trying to recast and reshoot it. At this point, I almost think that you might be better off just trying to do that.
I mean, it's something you have to shoot a whole new movie.
Yeah.
Which means you'd have to make $1 billion to just break even.
Basically.
I mean, my question is like, what does this mean for Flash? Because you saw a lot of people talking about like, okay, so Leslie Grace gets her film canceled, and you have Ezra Miller out here committing crimes,
Like actually on the run from the police.
on the run, they're missing. No one can find them.
Yeah.
I think they're still technically missing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think they are, and apparently they've also potentially created a cult and a bunch of other.
Either way, you have them.
It's a very weird situation.
You have them doing this, and their film is still slated for release. Now, my question, because I thought about this, and just like, because the whole issue that like, would WB take a $200 million loss? But if they can use it as a tax write-off, if they never release it, would they do that? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Given what we know about Zaslav so far, which is we've seen a lot of who he really is, would he rather shoot a whole new movie or use the tax write-off? He's gonna pick tax write-off.
I'm also worried that we may just never see Michael Keaton as Batman again after all this hype.
If I'm Keaton, I'm suing for emotional damage.
Honestly, because his scenes in Aquaman 2 are being replaced.
Yeah.
Because they don't really fit and they confused audiences because now Aquaman is supposed to come out before Flash. So Affleck's now coming back, which, by the way, anyone hoping Cavill's coming back at this point, how many times have we seen
okay.
No. Give me a half second. I got a thing. How many times now have we seen faceless or headless Superman cameos?
If we get another Superman movie, I want it to be all from the neck down.
But we've had that twice now, and allegedly there's another one coming up in another one of the upcoming movies.
Really?
Yes. So we've had it potentially 3 times. But Affleck, who was like, look, I'm done, is now coming back around and being like, I will do these things with my friends to help them get things going.
Look, Affleck's starting to laugh around. He maybe scrubbed that awful tattoo off his back. I don't know.
But he looks the happiest he's ever been.
Look, he picked up his Dunkin' Donuts coffee off the ground. He got married to a smoke show of a wife.
I can't believe he and J-Lo finally got married.
I'm happy for them.
I know I am. I didn't mean that in a...
No. Like it's like it's a thing we never thought would happen.
Right, exactly.
It's like Bill and Ted 3. We never thought it would happen.
And thank God Bill and Ted 3 did, and thank God J-Lo and Ben Affleck got married.
Yeah, Jennifer Affleck, which I'm never gonna fucking call her, but she's legally now Jennifer Affleck.
I can't do it.
I
can't do it. She fought the Anaconda. She's Jennifer Lopez forever.
I love everything she's done. She fought Anaconda. Like not Selena.
Have you met me?
Not Selena. Not Hustlers. No, she fought an Anaconda.
She fought an Anaconda.
But like, I speaking of Cavill real quick, I do remember when it was like everyone just off of nothing, nobody had any evidence. It's like Henry Hill coming back. I remember like it was one where you were just like, be ready. The world's gonna stop tomorrow when Henry Cavill announces that he's coming back as Superman. And then it didn't happen.
If I'm WB, I just finally put Flash out. Like, just get it out, get it done. Like, there's nothing you can do at this point. Like, at this point, you can't. You
have to release it as is.
Just release it as is, but use Black Adam and Shazam as your new basis for stuff moving forward. Like, that way the pieces of what is there are like floating still, but use the fact that they're building the JSA out. If you're smart, you build to the fact that eventually you do a new Justice League movie where Black Adam is the villain. Because you have The Rock in a Justice League movie fighting the Justice League. People will turn out for that.
But like, you just gotta get whoever left. It's Zach Levi, Jason Momoa, and
Gal.
Really, that's it.
Because Gal's still around. She still has another Wonder Woman.
That's true. Gal is still around,
and she is in, I believe, at least Flash that we're aware of. But I think she might be in one other too.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just
Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Zach, and that's it. But my question is, like, if you want like these big spectacle movies, why did Joker 2 get a green light at all?
Because it made $1 billion. So for some reason, that is seen as an event film. I got to be honest with you. I have negative excitement for Joker 2. I couldn't care less. And I really mean that because I'm not big on the original.
Yeah, I'm not huge on it either. Score is excellent, though.
The score is excellent.
The score is excellent.
I'm not a big Todd Phillips fan. I don't like most of his movies, so it's not really shocking that I don't really gel with what he did with Joker. And I think Joaquin is fine in it. I don't think it's anywhere near his best performance, and let alone Academy Award worthy.
No, I mean, especially when you had Adam Sandler giving really not a better performance that same year.
Yeah, I think that there's very little I'm excited for Lady Gaga, but I also feel a little frustrated because a part of a lot of what seems to be going on is that they're trying to streamline a lot of this stuff happening with DC, but now they're still willing to do this Elseworlds sequel to a movie that Batman won't have any part in. Like, number one, I swear to God, if we see flashbacks where one of the Jokers is killing Bruce's family again, I'm gonna fucking scream.
Well, we saw that already. We don't need to do it again.
Yeah, but they might.
Flashback and just show it again. For no
It might
reason.
be a musical number moment because this is a musical.
My parents are dead. I'm gonna be Batman.
I have no love for this idea.
I want the Bruce Wayne power ballad.
But I also feel like
parents get shot.
I feel bad for Margot Robbie.
Why?
Because for some reason, my fear is that they're going to, because obviously coming off of Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey, neither of them performed like super well.
Oh, so you think she's done?
That's my fear. And what if they're like, well, Gaga's the better version of this character? Because not that, like, Harley Quinn is been played by many people in animation, but Margot was the one who like finally brought it to live action, and she's so great in the role. But every time she's done one of the movies, it's not been like hugely successful outside of that first Suicide Squad.
And even then, that was sort of out of spite.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't know, man. I
mean, well, it's also like up in the air by doing the Suicide Squad anyway.
Well, so here's the thing: is apparently her and Gunn were super far along in trying to figure out some more to do with Harley, and I think that there was potential of that happening, but in the current state of what's happening with Warner Discovery, I do worry about the future of that. Like, let alone what Gunn had at least another season of Peacemaker. We don't really know if he was
true. Like, what's going to happen with that now? Like, but look at all the HBO Max originals. You got Hacks, you got Peacemaker.
There's a couple,
and just like that, which I haven't watched, but I've heard is good.
And that's the thing, is a lot of those, if they don't go to whatever the new Discovery Warner
or they're going to HBO is going to get canceled.
Yeah, are they going to go to HBO or are they going to get canceled? Because HBO's not going to want to pick up all that stuff.
I mean, that's just too much programming even for them.
Right, exactly. And plus, they have a very, very expensive new pilot and first season of a show starting very soon in that Game of Thrones.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones prequel. With, God, please be good, because I need Matt Smith to be in anything not terrible.
Yeah, Doctor Who included.
You know what? I'm not gonna first John Carter, then Doctor Who. I promise you, you will not have a place to stay if you keep this up.
You think I can't break into this house?
God damn you! But
you really think I can't break into this place?
I don't want that to happen. Number one, but I don't know, man. It feels weird, and we've heard Gunn potentially had another show that he was working on.
I know there's something.
And then there was the Amanda Waller show that we didn't necessarily know if he was even involved in.
Yeah.
And now we know Amanda Waller shows up in one of the upcoming DC films.
Black Adam.
Yeah. So what is happening?
This all stems from one thing. This all stems from them trying to catch up to Marvel in one movie. I firmly believe that all
which they've done in the this, but this is not the first time they've tried to play catch up to Marvel.
No. But like I firmly believe all of DC's problems stem
from BVS. I mean, that's not really wrong.
Like the fact that came out and was such a mess and and so badly received.
Yeah.
And like that sent them in, and Suicide Squad right after that sent them into a tailspin.
It's really fucking bad.
That they've really never recovered from.
It's really fucking bad.
Yeah.
It's really fucking bad.
Not to say they haven't done good stuff. You know, Wonder Woman, Shazam, those are some good shit.
Aquaman is super fun.
Aquaman's fun.
Like, it's very pulpy. It's 100% James Wan being like, I'm going to make space Star Wars. Great. Fine. Fun.
I mean, Star Wars is space Star Wars.
Or water Star Wars. Underwater Star Wars. I don't know why I said that.
Space Star Wars. You mean Star Wars?
I'm not even stoned. I haven't been drinking. I don't know how that happened. Space. Yeah.
We already have Space Star Wars, PJ. It's called Star Wars.
Robert Adams said I still say full stop on everything. I can't get behind that.
I mean, like,
Here's my thing. I am so. This is where I've been the last 24 to 48 hours since the Batgirl stuff even happened. I can't get behind that because I care too much for creatives that are involved.
if you want to do full stop on things you have in development that haven't like had
Sure,
anything moving
that's
on,
one thing.
that's fine.
But full stop on the stuff you have to release, there's no way.
Like full stop on movies that are already done. No.
No. That would not work.
and like full stop. Like again, given the fact that he pulled the plug in a movie that was already done, I'm like 100% confident he'd be willing to stop the production of Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I'm really worried about Blue Beetle. I'm not gonna lie.
Like the one DC product I think is safe besides Aquaman because it's gonna be a spectacle.
Yes,
I promise it. The Batman 2.
Yeah, Jacob actually brought up that the Batman 2 wasn't talked about.
Well, because like that's not going anywhere.
I worry a little
I'm not
because again, the Elseworlds of it all. Because it's something. It seems like Zaslav really wants to have a world where there's like strictly a Batman and a world where there is strictly a Superman in one universe. And we haven't heard anything on the Penguin show that was supposed to be on Max
or the Gotham PD show
well, apparently it evolved into basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they were the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it evolved into the Arkham show. So they were doing a bunch of things, and that's the other thing, right? Matt Reeves is out there trying to build a universe between HBO Max and the Batman. Well, what happens to that? Because now either it has to happen on this merged weird Discovery.
They're gonna find
it's going to be Warner Plus, right?
It's
going to be Warner Plus
because everything has to be Plus,
right? But if they don't want it, and then HBO doesn't want it because HBO has never gotten in on the comic book game outside of really one thing, and that was Watchmen, and that was a limited 9-episode series.
Yeah.
What happens to all the stuff that Reeves is doing?
What happens to the Green Lantern shows in development?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's dead.
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, probably, but like, yeah. My question.
What about all the stuff with Bad Robot? They were going to do the Constantine show.
What happens to Michael B. Jordan's Superman movie he was doing?
I feel bad for a lot of creatives right now who were working on stuff and like super excited about these different versions of things that I just don't see happening.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like the Batman sequel will happen like no matter what, just because you look at that first one. That first one made almost $800 million.
Yeah, and it was made like as far as I'm aware, it was made
it
like
wasn't like super expensive. Right?
No, I was gonna say it was kind of on the lower end of a lot of.
No, I was wrong. $200 million.
I thought it was cheaper than that.
Nope, I guess not.
Wow. Well, event film according to Zaslav.
That's gonna be a film. Well, you know, it might make Matt Reeves pivot. Like we need some supervillains with actual powers, explosions and shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It just
put the Joker back in this.
Well, they already started.
No, well, I mean, yeah, but like put the Joker really in the movie.
I don't want anything. I don't want another Joker. I'm
cool on Joker for a little bit.
I've been done with Joker for a while. We're getting too many. Like we have to remember, and I don't think people remember this. Between the time that Nicholson and Ledger were Joker, there was no other like live action Joker in a movie.
Nelson didn't have a Batman movie between them. Well, no,
we did.
We did. We had several, but they never used the Joker.
Right. But now, ever since 2008, we've had too many Jokers.
Yeah.
And it's too much. There's too much Joker happening.
We've had Leto, Cameron Monaghan, Barry Keoghan.
Too many Jokers. With Phoenix.
Yeah, 4. Too many Jokers.
Too many Jokers in too short a span of time. Is anyone else just like Jokered out? Because I definitely am.
Like Batman has one of, if not the greatest.
He and Spider-Man.
Him and Spider-Man, yeah, had the greatest.
Peter Spider-Man.
Huh?
Spider-Man.
Yes, Peter Spider-Man. Peter Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Batman and Spider-Man have the greatest assortment of villains in comics. So I don't know why we're so fixated on this one. Like. Let's do Mr. Freeze right. Let's get some Clayface, Man Bat, Azrael, somebody.
That's where I am with Superman too. Because look,
Azrael will be a great villain for Batman too.
Who?
Azrael.
Azrael would be a great villain. I would love if they did stuff like that.
Court of Owls.
They're definitely building to Court of Owls.
I hope so.
I feel like Superman's another one, and I kind of brought this up the other day because we were talking about Superman Returns, and we were talking about Crisis because. from all the stuff going around about Flash,
which I never seen, by the way.
Crisis. Well, they're building.
I've
to
still
Crisis,
never seen it. He showed me clips.
They're building to Crisis again, or at least they
in movie form.
In the movie form.
Why? Who is in this universe that we give a shit about?
Look,
Shazam, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. That is it. I don't care about anybody else in this universe.
Right. So, but here's what I was going to say is now if there's no world where I see Cavill coming back unless Cavill gets what he wants, and what Cavill wants is to have some sort of creative control and
somebody other than Zack Snyder making the movie.
Because it looked like he and Chris McQuarrie got real close, and then that kind of fell apart.
And we almost got a Chris McQuarrie written Green Lantern movie featuring Tom Cruise.
Yeah, dude, that would have been cool. And that was around the time he and Cavill were also talking about Superman.
Look, DC, you want to save yourself, make a Green Lantern movie starring Tom Cruise.
He likes... I mean, look, Top Gun just made $1 billion. You'd be really smart to have him as Hal Jordan flying around in planes again.
Or you got to do it before Marvel gets him for Secret Wars.
I could not agree with you more because it could happen.
Like if the one thing, if you look, any superhero movie that gets Tom Cruise will be the go. I don't care what this movie is. I don't care who it is. I don't care how big a role he is. You get Tom Cruise, you're the greatest of all time.
One of them is going to. So Dark Universe is the greatest of all time.
No, superheroes. Superheroes.
Yeah, Dark Universe.
That's not a superhero.
It was kind of a superhero.
No, he's not. The Mummy is not a superhero.
Kind of a supernatural superhero.
No, not a superhero.
I don't know, man.
Comic book superhero.
I like how you went, fuck, he's right. I got to back this up.
No, you're wrong because The Mummy's not a superhero movie.
No. It's supernatural, superhero-ish, and I'm buying this.
Superhero. Supernatural is different from superhero. But no, that's not how this works, PJ.
I'm just telling you. That's where we're at. So...
Although, look, if he does show up...
Jacob says, I don't think Cruise does a superhero movie. I don't know, man. I think he's in a place where he's willing to do, like...
I would love it if he showed up as Superior Iron Man in Secret Wars.
I think he'd be down to do something small like that, because if anything in Maverick taught me anything, he's really willing to do this very meta commentary on his career where he realized that he's no longer really he's getting too old. He can't be...
He's really getting too old for this shit.
Basically, yeah. He's basically what Danny Glover's been saying since, 88 in Lethal Weapon. So 87, yes, correct.
Right.
Thank you. So he could take bit roles and things, and I think that there's a world where he could potentially do that. Like, I could see him absolutely taking a small role.
I want to see them do a 60s era Nick Fury movie where he's playing the white Nick Fury.
Jacob says he thinks he's in his I want my Oscar phase. I don't know.
Not yet.
I don't think so. I don't think he's there yet.
Like, once he's done with Mission Impossible, then
and the space movie.
Once he does those two, then he'll be like, I want my Oscar phase.
I'm with Jake, who said I want a feature-length Les Grossman film. I would love the shit out of that. By the way, guys, if you're here, thanks for joining us. We're really happy to have you guys. Don't forget, we have a Streamlabs. You can see the Streamlabs link in the comments or in the description below. Feel free to send us some Streamlabs as we're hanging out talking. We got a lot to talk about still. Who knows how long we'll actually be here talking about this stuff.
We still only barely brought up the team of Scoob, who was
oh my god, we were going to go there and then we got back onto this. Real quick, because this whole conversation is like a hodgepodge of stuff, but I want to get to why I brought up the Crisis and the Roth and the Cavill of it all. No, it's fine. This is how we operate. Welcome to our version of an afternoon talk show or a morning talk show. They might want to get used to the morning talk show idea. Just saying. So I wouldn't hate the idea of if you couldn't get Cavill, but Flash ends in a specific way where they reset the universe and you want to have a Batman and a Superman again. You know what would be cool is to do, like, if Affleck is up for it in doing like bit parts, because clearly he was cool enough to come back for Aquaman. His life is in a very different spot than it was before this. And the idea, it sounded like anyway, was that Batman was going to kind of be a Nick Fury of the DCEU moving forward. If you could get Affleck to stay on, but then you got Roth to come over and be the new Superman, because I think he's aged really well into the role. Like, he looked great in Crisis. I thought he really had the Alex Ross look down. You don't necessarily have to follow what they did in Crisis, but I wouldn't hate the idea of them doing that and bringing him back, because he's actually really good as Superman.
gonna strap Affleck to a chair like you were gonna sign this contract to be in these movies.
Yeah.
But I think like, again, the fact that, like, he's done his rehab, he's not in the same place he was. Look, I would still love it if he made a Batman movie, because I think he deserves at least one good movie on his Batman resume, at least one.
I would love if it came around and he got to actually do his Batman movie now.
Because this is something he's wanted to do basically his entire life. He always wanted to be Batman,
and I've heard that script was great.
Yeah,
I would love to see if they managed to turn it around. I don't know. It just feels.
Jim Manganiello really got the worst end of all this.
He really kind of did, didn't he?
It's like, you're gonna be the villain in this Batman movie, and then I guess we're not making the Batman anymore.
Marvin, the film nerd, said we're getting more Joker because the Solo movie just made $1 billion. Money talks in Hollywood. I mean, I know that. It doesn't change that. We're well aware of why it's happening.
We know why we're getting Joker. We don't like that we're getting Joker too. We know why.
We know why, and we know why we're seeing so much of it, because also The Dark Knight made $1 billion before that, and Joker was the villain. Like, I'm well aware of the why of it.
I don't think a Joker featuring movie's ever done badly at the box office.
No, they've all done fairly well.
Yeah, so Batman '89, Dark Knight, Suicide Squad made money.
Yeah,
Joker
made money.
Even
Mask of Phantasm is arguably the only,
but it's not. But
it's not live action.
But yeah, but that's also just like a byproduct of the fact that Warner decided. I think decided to release that in theaters super late.
They did, and that's totally fine. And look, again, that's not a. I'm glad that people like the character. I'm glad the audience likes the character. I like the character too. I'm just burned out.
I want to see some other Batman villains that haven't gotten the great big screen treatments do some stuff.
Yeah.
Again, like Mr. Freeze, I think would be an excellent villain.
Robert Adams says they need to redo all the casting to fully separate it from the failed DCU. They're not going to do that. They're not.
Well, yeah, Aquaman and Wonder Woman are they're too big.
They're not. Yeah, and same. You want to lose Dwayne Johnson? It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, there's going to be no heart. The whole point of Flash was to get that separation that they needed. So there is going to be no world where they recast every one of those roles. It's just not going to happen.
They're going to recast the bulk of them.
They'll recast some of them. Jacob also says he believes they will. I don't at all, because that's the point of the Flashpoint thing. Is that, and again, they don't just bring Affleck back literally this week for a movie that's coming out if you're going to recast everyone. You don't do it. They're not going to get rid of Godot. They're not going to get rid of Momoa. Like, these people want to play these roles.
Levi ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, Levi's not going anywhere. You're not losing Dwayne Johnson. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You need to keep the stuff that works while still being able to move forward. Now, that's why they need to put Flash out, though, because Flash gives them the out.
Yeah.
That's what they need right now. They need Flash to be out so that they can finally move forward.
What could go wrong? Okay,
Jacob says they did it because Keaton was in the film and audiences were confused. I said that earlier in the reshooting of it.
We know why.
We know why. That doesn't change the fact. You just scrap the scene then. You don't even, because it's just set up for Flash. But you could not.
Yeah. Keaton's also got it rough. They can't really just do Batman movies,
right?
And he just got kicked out of the MCU.
Yeah. Thanks, Morbius.
He's got traded to Sony for a first round pick.
Poor fucking Keaton. I feel bad for Keaton. I feel so bad.
I just got here. I'm still trying to figure this world out, but it's all Spider-Man's fault. We should team up.
Robert Adams said, I'm of the mind that WB wasted the opportunity they had, and therefore they get to lose everything, even if it worked. They should have done better to begin with. I mean, sure, yeah. But here's the thing. We say that, but a lot of those movies still made money. Not enough. I mean, VVS obviously was the catalyst that ended us up here.
2016 was the catalyst that got us here.
Here's the thing. WB hurt a lot of those people. I don't think a lot of the actors deserve to lose their jobs because of bad management. Just like I don't believe that bad management should have killed the Batgirl movie because the creatives deserved better. Like, you have to remember, these creatives actually were doing things that they had fun with and cared about. Why would you want to lose a James Wan-led Aquaman universe? Like, James Wan is one of WB's greatest assets right now.
Jason Momoa is leading people up right now.
Yeah, and he's pretty in pocket with them. Same with Margot Robbie, actually. Same with Godot. They're all doing stuff there still. Affleck is still a big part of WB.
I mean, we all know who's really to blame for all this. Rachel Zegler.
Robert says
everywhere she goes, controversy follows.
That's true. Robert says I hate to be mean with this, but they had a clear if they had a clear blueprint of how to do this from the start, they never had a clear blueprint.
No, they did.
Snyder did, allegedly.
They had a clear blueprint. I mean, we had Cyborg in 2020. Does anyone remember that movie? Cyborg, Green Lantern Corps, 2020.
And it was all coming from the Snyder era of doing, because remember, he wrote the story, he helped co-write the story for Wonder Woman. He was fairly involved. And here's the thing, and I lay this blame on the older WB management. They hired him and they should have just seen it through. No matter your feelings on how things turned out, Snyder really was hired to do a job, and I'm not saying that they had to like it, but this is exactly what we're talking about. This is the same thing with what we just saw with Batgirl. The stuff that happened with Snyder was really egregious as well. And I was like, I'm not even the biggest fan of his DC movies, but they should have just seen his Justice League through. Yeah. Or at least, and if they were really that worried about it, you could have split it into 2 movies, considering we got a 4-hour cut.
Well, and they also had release dates for 2 movies.
Yeah.
Already set.
And Jacob said, isn't it amazing that this current board is still dealing with the decision of a board 3 acquisitions ago? It really is. It's crazy.
You have we're gonna make a Superman reboot. We're gonna hire Zack Snyder to do it. What could go wrong?
Well, but here's the other thing, right? Snyder really didn't want to jump into BVS. That's the thing we've learned. Like, he wanted to do a standalone Superman story first.
So it's kind of like with Matt Reeves and not Matt Reeves, fucking Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah,
with Days of Future Past.
Yeah, where it became much bigger, and it's kind of what we saw with Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Scott Derrickson had one way he wanted to take the story. It went a very different direction, and that's the way they took it. And that stuff happens. The good thing is that Derrickson landed on his feet. Black Phone is excellent. I loved it. I thought it was so great. It's one of my favorites of the year. I know we need to watch it.
Yeah.
And we got a Raimi directed Multiverse of Madness film.
Got a Raimi directed Doctor Strange movie.
I got my favorite MCU movie out of it. Like,
that's not your favorite.
No, it is.
No, it isn't.
It really is.
There is no fucking way that is your
It's favorite. The only horror adjacent MCU movie, therefore it is my favorite.
That's a lie.
No, it's really not.
That's a lie.
It's very much.
We'll talk about it later on our show, but that's a lie.
Best? No. Favorite? Absolutely. I can't tell you how many times I've watched it, like, falling asleep, because it's been on Disney Plus, and I finally got the 4K of it. I love
so good. I'll put you right.
Jacob, I'm about to block you from the chat. Multiverse of Madness is very meh.
I don't think it's meh. I think it's good. Like,
imagine thinking a Sam Raimi film is meh.
I mean, I was a Great and Powerful exists, so I don't have to imagine it. I know.
I'm just getting attacked on all sides.
Right I know that the Sam Raimi movie is meh.
Yeah, I'm being attacked on all sides. This
hurts.
It's a
do you like Oz Great and Powerful?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's like great, but I really enjoy it. I love a lot of the casting. I think some of the casting is super fun. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Scrubs, so it's always cool to see Zach Braff in literally anything not Scrubs. I think he's really quite good in it. I really, really dig most of the casting for the witches. The only weird casting to me really is Franco. Unfortunately, he's the lead, but you know, I like everyone else in it.
I'm the Great and Powerful Oz, man.
Yeah. Tim, I know art is subjective. You, Tim, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like you, Tim Sim.
Okay.
But
no,
a lot of the time when I'm doing this, it's very like I give people a hard time. I know art is subjective. You don't have to remind me. Don't worry.
That's no fun. That's no fun. Like, it's
also no fun because I like giving people a hard time.
Yeah. Like I'd rather talk. I'd rather debate. I'd rather just, like, you know,
and make fun of each other. Let's be real here. Like, I would much rather make fun of each other than not.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, you know, and that's okay. Jacob said that apparently Oz was so bad that Sam Raimi quit making films for almost a decade. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily the reason he stopped making movies, though, either.
Yeah,
he was doing a lot of other stuff.
He was doing a lot of TV.
Yeah, he was doing the Ash versus Evil Dead.
He was producing a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he was busy doing stuff. I support that.
Well, but yeah, we're missing the important part of this WB story.
Okay, well, let's get into it.
The crew of Scoob Holiday.
Yeah,
Haunt.
let's talk about Scoob. Let's talk about the Scoob thing.
Yeah, so Scoob was the prequel / sequel to 2020 Scoob, a movie which not a lot of people liked. I thought it was okay.
Right.
But the point is, they were going to do a straight to Max movie, which is going to be feature Christmas. Movie was basically done, had a voice cast and everything.
Yep.
It was already complete. The animation was completed. It was done. It was rendered, and WB like that go just like, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
I feel worse for them just because animation's a pain in the ass, and to go through all that, all of that just to be like, you know what? No.
Yeah.
We're good. Understand, people. There's been a version of Scooby-Doo available since 1969.
And look, I didn't even love Scoob, but this movie should have been seen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like it focuses on them as kids. So we're basically getting a pup named Scooby-Doo in movie form.
And a pup named Scooby-Doo is great.
Yeah.
It's great.
One of the better theme songs.
Yeah.
For Scooby-Doo.
Maybe my favorite.
It's between that and as dated as it is, What's New Scooby-Doo?
Yeah. And plus the original. Like the original is an earworm for a reason.
The original is iconic, but I mean
Yeah.
I feel like it's been done better.
We got some Streamlabs.
Do we really?
We do. We
Okay.
gotta read off these. We had Sean Soley,
So
who said, as your executive producer, I'd like to launch an extreme makeover PJCN edition. I mean, look, that's why you're here. That's why we talked to you.
Am I making him over? Or?
No, I think he's helping us make the channel over.
Okay.
We got some ideas.
Okay.
He's a good executive producer. The Bard donated. He said, what's the over-under that this is a marketing move and they never intended to actually shelve Batgirl? Also, welcome back. Well, thank you, The Bard.
I think this would be stupid as a marketing move.
It'd be the worst marketing move of all time.
It'd be the dumbest marketing move ever. Like maybe in the history.
Yeah. And that's considering like we actually have a poster in the stairwell of the house that has the Woods on it. And for those who don't know, the Woods was actually secretly a Blair Witch sequel that they started marketing as the Woods until Comic-Con when they revealed it was the Blair Witch Project.
I think they should have just like kept it as the Woods for the entire time.
They should have.
And then
But the problem was that they screened it for us and I was at that screening.
No, I know, but like they should have kept it under wraps and then reveal, and then like when you watch the movie, kind of like Splits.
Right.
Where like it was revealed at the end where it was an Unbreakable movie, and then you at the end of The Woods, you're like, oh, or beginning of The Woods, sorry.
Yeah, because it's like 20 minutes in when you realize what's going on.
Yeah, like if you saw like The Woods, you realize, oh shit, this is Blair Witch 3.
I think they should have. But it's funny because we have that poster, but I would argue that the marketing ultimately hurt it because I think had it stayed the Woods, it probably would have done better once it flipped to Blair Witch. And that was why the screening at Comic-Con was kind of also an issue because it reveals the twist.
Expectations also flipped.
Yeah.
Once we found out it was Blair Witch.
I love Adam Wingard.
He's good. He's a good lad.
That dude is filming a Godzilla sequel that we know almost nothing about right now.
We know Dan Stevens in the movie, and that's it.
Literally, that's it.
That's it. We don't know. Maybe it's just him in the movie.
I still wonder if that could be the case. It might be the first time it's like basically just monsters fighting.
It's a silent movie with Dan Stevens and monsters.
Maybe it's secretly The Guest too.
He's like, oh yeah. I just wanted the budget. I'm actually making Guest too.
I'm really curious what this Godzilla Kong sequel ends up being. Like, is it actually Godzilla versus Kong 2?
Is it Son of Kong?
Is it Son of Kong? Is it another Kong movie? Like, I'm very curious.
Well, I mean, it's the rematch, first of all. I mean, spoiler alert for the movie. Godzilla won, so Kong's trying to come back, take the title. I feel like he's going to win this time. That's how he's going to get the name King Kong.
Correct.
But,
But there's the rights thing of the King Kong of it all, too.
Is there really?
I think that's why they weren't calling him King Kong for the longest time.
Universal owns King Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, actually. But, he's going to be known as King Kong. Like, they're not going to call the movie King Kong. They're just going to, he's going to say, like, Kong is king. Or the King of Kong.
Yeah.
But what I'm betting on is the fact that they're going to bring back Charles Dance.
As they should.
And
finally do the
Mecha Ghidra.
Yeah, Mecha Ghidra 100% feels like the move.
Which is because nothing is coming up. Well, I guess they did kind of work it into Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yes and no.
Because wasn't it the Ghidorah brain that allowed it to?
It might have been actually.
I think
I
it
need to
was.
rewatch it. It's
Again, I haven't seen it since the one time we saw it in theaters, but I'm
I
pretty sure it
really
was
like
the-
Godzilla vs Kong. It's so fucking fun.
I remember having fun with it.
That's the kind of stuff that, like, if Zaslav is going to put money into that, great, because that's great event cinema. But also, here's inherently the problem, and this is the thing we were getting into earlier, and then we can get back to the scoop stuff too, is that cutting these mid-range projects out and having only spectacle filmmaking is inherently killing this industry. And by HBO Max no longer being able to be the home of like any sort of mid-range film is so frustrating, and it breaks my heart.
Yeah, it's also because like we need like these mid-range films because like we wouldn't have gotten under Zaslav, we wouldn't have gotten King Richard last year, which was one of my favorite movies of 2021.
Yeah.
Or what else?
Or what about Kimmy?
Yeah, or Kimmy.
Like, there's all sorts of really great mid-range films that they were making for Max, and Zaslav doesn't believe in streaming, and that sucks.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up what Zaslav.
As you're looking at that,
yeah,
we got another Streamlabs, this time from the great Tim Sim.
Okay.
So if these changes do more damage to WB than good with cutting back to Max, is it right to be concerned on how it's another opportunity for Disney to grow more as an entertainment monopoly? No, I don't think so.
Because Disney will just continue to do its thing.
Yeah, there's no
now. Like it's also it's not really a monopoly if they're succeeding because the other competition sucks.
Yeah.
Like if the other competition starts failing and they start doing better in comparison, it's not. I wouldn't call that monopoly. Like if they were to try and buy Warner Brothers,
right,
that would be a monopoly. But
or if they tried to buy DC, because there was a lot of talk at one point that I know Jacob Blunden, who is in the chat, he had talked about the idea that he thought that Warner Brothers should offset some of the costs by selling DC and to someone like Paramount, because Paramount's really also not heavily into the superhero game right now. They have the Mission Impossible movies, and they are allegedly trying to ramp up Star Trek 4. We saw all the problems with that when that was announced, but like, there's not a lot of moves that Disney could make, and there's always a world eventually where, for better or worse, Disney ends up like offloading Fox too, which is basically one of my fears about what could happen in the future with this acquisition that Discovery made. Because what if all this is to just sell off Warner in the future?
Yeah. Got any other Streamlabs read off?
No, that is we're caught up on the Streamlabs.
Well, because I wanted to bring out, because I pulled up the release slate from the last 2 years. I want to go over some movies that probably would not have gotten made if we're following.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's hear.
So movies that wouldn't have gotten made if
right,
had to be spectacle. Way Back, the Ben Affleck basketball movie.
Ah, correct.
Which is really good if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It was one of the last.
Literally came out right before pandemic got really bad.
Correct.
One of Affleck's better performances, I might add. He's fantastic.
And it was directed by
Gavin O'Connor.
Correct.
Yeah. That would have got made. American Pickle wouldn't have got made, but that was okay. Tenet probably would have gotten made.
Well, Tenet was a spectacle film.
Unpregnant, which is a really good, small scale film.
Right.
Small scale coming of age type film. Really fantastic. I haven't seen it.
Totally.
It was on. I don't know if it's still there.
Oh, that's a great question. I'd have to go look.
Charm City King, which is definitely not on Max anymore. That definitely got
Which
moved.
one?
Charm City Kings.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's see. Would The Witch have gotten made?
Probably not, because I don't think it was a super expensive. Like, that's the other thing, is that apparently he said that he's not really going to focus on family entertainment, which is weird when you own the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, you own the Looney Tunes.
You own the Looney Tunes. You're not going to focus on family entertainment. You own Sesame Street.
Does that mean Tiny Toons is dead?
Yeah. What about Animaniacs?
I don't think they own the rights to that anyway.
No, they do. It's just streaming on
Hulu.
Hulu.
That's interesting. See, so it was 2021. Judas and the Black Messiah definitely wouldn't have been made.
And that's the kind of stuff that WB was really good at, was prestige stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the same dude who said he wouldn't give Eastwood $30 million to do Cry Macho if he had been around. Like,
Cry Macho's another one.
And like, I'm not I haven't seen Cry Macho yet. I should. I just never got to it. But Eastwood's one of your most prestigious filmmakers. Yeah. You're telling me you're not going to give Eastwood even $30 million to make a movie? That dude has a soundstage and like an editing bay named after him.
Yeah, those Wish Me Dead.
Yeah,
that wouldn't have happened. In the Heights is a debatable one. I'm not sure that would have gotten made under.
It might have been seen enough as a spectacle, but musicals also have a hard time selling, as we saw with Heights.
Would Malignant have gotten made?
So here's the thing about horror. You and I had this conversation
Yeah.
because Evil Dead Rise, which we were both looking forward to, is currently up in the air.
Yeah.
Because it's part of this whole situation. It was made for Max. It may be moving theatrical, but there's been not a lot of word on a lot of what's going on with it. But horror films can be spectacle and made on cheap.
Yeah.
And there's every chance Malignant still gets made because those tend to be made for very little but seen as spectacle, and they tend to do pretty well monetarily, even if they're not very good.
Yeah, that's the one of the the question mark ones. Like, how does he feel about like low budget horror movies?
Right.
Because if he's like saying like, why would you give Clint Eastwood $30 million? I don't know if it's safe.
That's what I mean. I don't know if it would be safe.
Yeah, Crown Match we already talked about. Many Saints in Newark, I think that would have gotten made, but it would have gone straight to HBO.
Yeah, it would have been an HBO movie, and that's an interesting conversation too. I guess there's still a world where you could do some stuff and they become Max or just HBO originals because HBO does have original films, but that seems weird.
Yeah.
And does HBO want to pick up that kind of tab?
Yeah, it's always like like it's a pricey thing to try and get into because like a lot of these Max, like if Max really does fall, which it looks like it's going to, like a lot of these originals just gonna get canned.
Right. It just seems odd.
Yeah. And King Richard, which we already talked about, King Richard definitely would have gotten made.
Again, I think that there's a
and
weird.
Yeah, like a lot of like they're really great like prestige Oscar type pictures, which I guess we might not get as many of.
Which feels weird because WB's always been really good at that.
Yeah.
Like really good at that, in fact. That they're one of the best at chasing Oscars.
Yeah.
They've had great talent who have chased Oscars there. And this is a world where like Joker 2 is actually, I think Joker 2 is actually being done for that reason.
I think, hold on. So Phoenix, who was 2020? That was, two of the last three Best Actor winners have been in WB pictures.
Totally. And I think there's a world where Joker 2 is only being made as an event film that also happens to be chasing Oscars.
Yeah.
Because the last one got so many Oscar nominations, so they're hoping for the repeat.
That which won't happen.
Well, they're hoping to, you know what it is? They're hoping to get Lady Gaga her Oscar finally. Because she didn't get it for
Stars Born. Which I'm like, I love her in that movie, but she deserved to win.
Sure. I'm not saying whether she should have or not. I'm just saying. And then she didn't get it at Fox for House of Gucci. So now they're going.
It's not Gaga's fault. She just keeps coming out in years with much stronger competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Acting, and she already has an Oscar. Like, she's good.
Right. So it's just a weird thing, like looking at this, because WB is so well known for being the creative prestige cinema.
Yeah.
Like studio. That's what they were known for. And now suddenly that seems to be restricted to, well, we just want to blow shit up. And we're not going to worry about the families because fuck them kids. That's how I hear Zaslav saying it is fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
So it's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I can't quite get around it. And I just really feel for everyone involved. Is that odd?
No, it's not. Just because, this is, I think, would they say like they're going to be like 70% of the companies get laid off?
Yeah. It's wild. It makes no sense. It's wild.
It does. Again, like Warner Brothers, like a pillar studio in Hollywood. Like one of like the big, we're saying like the big three is like them. It's like them, Disney, and Paramount now, just because Fox is Disney also. Like one of like the biggest studios in the world.
Yeah.
They're going through all these like really just like shitty changes.
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 Yeah, it's not going well, and it's looking uglier every day. And I worry because, to the point of what Tim said, it is going to bolster Disney just to continue to make all the money if WB can't come out strong. I'll say this: I'm happy to see that they're trying to do like an actual DC film studio with a banner person actually running it. Now, I need to hear who their creative is first before I can really get excited.
Is Hamada still working with them?
I don't know. I mean, he's still around, but they'd be smart to get someone who would be really great at running the creative side and could do like what Kevin Feige is doing.
Yeah, they need a Feige.
They need a Feige.
And like, Jeff Johns was not cut out for it.
No, and Berlanti's was good for it on television,
but I don't know if he could do it on the theatrical side. And that's another one. Berlanti's been working on a Little Shop remake for the longest that had like Taron Egerton and Scarlett
Didn't that
Johansson
get shelved like a long
and
time ago?
Chris Evans. I don't know. I don't even think it got shot.
No, I think no, but not. See, man, the shelved was the
Oh,
wrong word.
you said shelved. Sorry. I thought you said shot.
No, I think they got like canceled a long time ago.
No, because it was like rolling along until COVID.
That's true.
Because I think it was during COVID still we started hearing that they were still working on it.
I think Billy Porter was gonna be the plant.
Yeah. And it had Taron Egerton, Scarlett Johansson, and Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Like, it had a great cast. What the hell happened?
What happened?
That would have been... I was super looking forward to that.
I was looking forward to it, too.
Jacob asked, do we still get the animated Lord of the Rings film? That is a great question.
That's a great question. Actually.
Because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not sure.
Well, who owns the rights to Lord of the Rings? Is it still WB?
WB owns it, and Lord of the Rings, the show, is co-produced by them for Amazon.
Okay, so but they're still behind Rings of Power, is my question.
And they're behind Rings of Power, which is why so much of the talent is similar, either having Shore come back to compose the theme, and I think Weta is also involved, and we know that a lot of the Weta story producers and stuff are also involved in the Lord of the Rings prequel movie. I think that one's safe because I think it's also being aimed at adults and not kids for obvious reason, but also I could see a world where it gets murdered.
Is Ralph Bakshi still alive?
What was that?
Is Ralph Bakshi still alive?
I don't know.
They should bring... He is still alive. They should bring him back to direct that one.
I mean, that'd be hilarious. Jacob and Marvin are talking about DC being turned into a studio. Jacob said it's been a studio since 2016. Yeah, kind of. It was more of like a production arm, but it didn't have a head. It sounds like this is like an actual production arm with a head and a vision is what he wants it to be. Because again, I saw that quote where he's like, Marvel and Feige are the blueprint, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, that's great and fine, but
it's kind of like they operate kind of like Marvel did when they were under Fox before Disney bought them.
Right.
Where like they had their own branch. They had their own branch that did stuff, but they weren't their own official studio.
Right.
Like Marvel Studios is a studio within Disney under the Disney banner.
Similarly, Lucasfilm is their own studio under the Disney banner. Pixar.
So like they may own the rights to DC, but like this is kind of like what PlayStation is doing with their own studio, which is hilarious. Like, it's hilarious that they have PlayStation Studios now. And
Sega too, because Sega's doing
Sonic,
because of Sonic, and I think that they were working on something else at one point.
I don't think they're called Sega Studio. I think it's just like the Sega brand.
Oh, maybe. It's still weird to me every time I see that at a thing. Like, I know I've only seen it twice because there was 2 Sonic movies, but it still throws me thinking.
But
that
like
exists.
Uncharted, they legit had PlayStation Studios at the beginning of it.
Well, because they're working on some other movies though too. I think.
Yeah, they are. They're working on a God of War something for sure.
Yeah. Is there anything else? I mean, I feel like there was that samurai one you like.
Oh yeah, Ghost of Tsushima.
They were looking into doing a movie of that too.
I think the movie was shown. Stahelski's attached to it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I love Chad Stahelski. You know what Stahelski needs to get off the goddamn ground already?
Highlander.
Yes, Highlander. Where is the goddamn Highlander reboot? Someone get Stahelski on the line. I need that Highlander movie. He was promising to do for Highlander in sword action what he did to John Wick with guns. I need that. I need that movie now. Because I haven't had a good Highlander movie since the 80s.
It's been a
long time.
We have not had a good Highlander since Highlander.
Okay, Highlander 3 is really fun. I don't know if it's really good.
Is that Endgame or is that...
No, that's
Final Dimension?
Yeah, Final Dimension. Endgame is the 4th one. That one has Donnie Yen. A very young Donnie Yen.
Which one is Mario Van Peebles in?
Oh, that's the 3rd one. That's the Final Dimension.
That's 3.
Okay. Yeah. The 4th one, Endgame, is the one where they brought over the guy from the TV show so that they could co-star in it together.
That's right.
And then they do the bad thing where they're like, well, actually, what we have to do is make him the lead of the series now. So he kills Connor so he can get his powers, and then he can go defeat the villain. And it was like, fuck you. I don't want that.
Well, it's funny because like just Stahelski's in a weird spot because I'd be hesitant to see anybody else make a John Wick movie because he's so good at it.
Yeah. I said the same thing to you. I want to see people in the world like doing spinoffs.
I mean,
But if they're doing John Wick, it has to be Stahelski.
I mean, unless you find somebody else that he approves of behind it.
Yeah. But here's the reason it scares
me.
me.
I found out yesterday when I was recording my show with my other show with Russell Howell.
No,
by chance, my podcast.
I don't, because I was gone. I was drunk playing trivia with Tim.
And I found out Russell. I'm going to out Russell publicly right now. Russell has never seen a John Wick movie.
What?
Not a single one.
Pardon the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's like, shut the fuck up, really?
How is that possible?
That's what I said. It's like how? He owns all of them, which is the weirdest thing. But it's just like you own these movies you just never seen, which, but like it's also the fact it's John. Like I'm like, these are some of the best American-made action movies of the last 10 years.
Yeah, they're incredible. They're the best things outside of the stuff that McQuarrie has been doing with Cruise.
American-wise, yeah. I would tend to
100%. And Jacob brought up in the chat what I was going to say before you told the Russell story, and now Russell's dead to me. Number one, you can text him that. Fucking take that to the bank. But Jacob says, given what we've seen with between Leach without Chad is clearly the one who's talented. I agree. That's my worry.
But like, I want to see him do things outside of John Wick.
That's why I want Highlander. Matt Thomas said, "Can we not?
Can we not what?
Have Highlander?" Absolutely not, Matt. Highlander's great. It's a great concept.
Yeah, the concept for Highlander is great, which is why I think it's one of those movies that I think would do really well the remake. Kind of like Logan's Run, even though In Time is basically the remake of Logan's Run.
In Time is actually pretty fun.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Point is, Highlander's a great concept, so I would love to see somebody else take a crack at it.
Yeah, totally. I'm all about. That's like the perfect case scenario of I have so much nostalgia and I love the original, but you can make a better movie. Similarly, like Tremors is one I would love to see a modern day reboot of, because I love the original and I like all the sequels to varying degrees, but like I would love to see them do an update on it. Even a like years later sequel with Kevin Bacon, not the Sci-Fi Channel show that they were going to do, but like you could make a legitimate Tremors sequel with Kevin Bacon. And I'd love to see it. We've reached a point where I think of like the Legacy sequel, that one could be super cool.
I mean, the Legacy sequel needs to happen next for sure. In my opinion, is Matilda the Professional.
Yeah,
like I think a Natalie Portman led Matilda sequel to Leon the Professional would be fucking amazing.
I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking of. Matt said Highlander is just about as good as the Predator series, and that ain't saying much except Prey.
I mean, look.
I really like most of the Predator movies.
I like 2 of the Predator movies.
There's the only Predator movies I didn't like. The Predator. The Predator was trash.
The Predator was my second most anticipated movie of that year.
Mine. It was. You remember? It was one of mine too. I was super excited about it, and I went with Frank Janisch, Harloff. A bunch of us went, because it was one of our critic screenings for it. And Christian and I walked out and we were like, well, that sucked. And Frank goes, I liked it. And I was like, get the fuck out.
Frank. Why, Frank? Explain. Show your work. That's like when teachers teach you in school, like when they're doing math, like, show your work. I want to see where you went dumb.
you want to see where Frank went dumb? Yeah.
Like, I don't tell you show your work. I want to see where you went dumb.
Yeah. Garth said, speaking of movies with great Queen soundtracks, I want a Flash Gordon reboot. I think they're working on one with Taika.
Taika's trying to do it.
Yeah, and I think, where's that one at? Is that Disney?
Fox, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think they're on the rest of Flash Gordon. But like, yeah, that was one that actually Julius Avery, the guy, he was working on it for a little bit.
Yeah, which I really like Julius Avery. That guy's real talent.
I do, and I'm looking forward to Samaritan quite a bit.
Me too. That trailer's really good.
It really is. He was working on it, and then I guess he fell off at some point, and then Taika came on board. Which, I mean, it's a weird thing because he basically already made Flash Gordon, which is
not wrong. Twice,
yeah, he's already made that movie. So
I mean, he kind of made Beastmaster more the second movie, but like, regardless.
Yeah, the point is, like, he's already done like stuff type like. It's weird because like,
oh, what's up, Lego? She said Highlander worked because it's ridiculous. The series was great. I don't think they should make another movie. I hear you, but like I just love the concept too much, and there was some great books and comics too. So like I'm always down for trying to mine that.
Maybe we actually get a Scottish person in the lead,
or maybe not have Sean Connery playing Egyptian Persian.
Yeah. Oh,
or Spaniard, Egyptian Spaniard.
Yeah, he was Spaniard. It'd be a great lead, Michael Fassbender.
I wouldn't hate that, actually.
I'm pretty sure he's Scottish. Oh, wait, no.
David Tennant.
That'd be Irish.
There we go. David Tennant is the Highlander because he is Scottish. I would watch the shit out of a David Tennant led Highlander reboot. You know what, man?
Irish.
Now I need it because
I was wrong. He is Irish. Never mind.
David Tennant had swordplay in his first Doctor Who episode, and that was the best. And now I want him to have swordplay again in a Highlander reboot.
I mean, I want him in a good sci-fi franchise. So yeah, I'll put him in Highlander.
Stop talking shit about Doctor Who. I'm gonna make you watch it.
I will not.
Yeah, Cavill's supposed to be the Highlander.
No, I know Cavill's attached. I'm just
but
saying,
I would recast it. That's all I'm saying.
Then look, I like Cavill as an actor, despite the fact that I don't love him as Superman. I've liked him in everything else I've seen that isn't Superman.
Yeah, he was great in Man from U.N.C.L.E.
He's really good. He's really good in that one. He's great in Fallout.
Yeah,
he's really funny in Enola Holmes.
Yeah, he's actually really. I really like that first Enola Holmes. That was an actual pleasant surprise.
It was actually.
It really was. And Millie Bobby Brown was really good in it. Like, what a fun movie.
It was funny when I introduced my mom to Stranger Things, after the fact, I think I showed her the show in season 2.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I'm like, well, yeah, the main actress, her name's Millie Bobby Brown. She's just like, her name's Millie Bobby Brown? She's not black? Like, that was my first thought. When I first heard there was a show with someone named Millie Bobby Brown, I'm like, oh, okay, they're black.
Yeah.
Turned out, nope.
Robert Adams said his only problem with Predators was Adrian Brody was a terrible lead. He's
Yeah.
not big enough muscle-bound soldier like Arnold. But I think that's the point. I don't think being muscle-bound is...
Muscle-bound was a requirement in the first one because the whole point of that first one is the fact that these guys who would be... They're the hero in every other movie, but this time they're the ones being hunted.
Right.
He feels like a regular soldier.
Well, and that was the thing, is that everyone in that kind of felt that way.
I still don't love him as the lead just because
I don't disagree with that.
And it's not a slight it's not a slight on Brody's talents. I think he's a very talented actor. I just don't, especially towards the end, where he's doing the Arnold dialogue, I'm here, do it, kill me. I'm right here, do it. Come on, kill me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, dude, no, this isn't working. Not even the worst casting of that movie.
I honestly, you know what drives me nuts though?
Never Grace is a doctor.
No. It was the Predator, and I kind of wish it had happened. But Jacob Tremblay had such a bigger role originally in that original version of the script until it got inherently changed. I really wanted to see more of the buddy role of Predator and small Jacob Tremblay. That would have been fun.
Yeah, no, it would have been interesting.
I can dream. It didn't happen, but I can dream.
I mean, yeah, we can dream. Prey looks good though. Is it out tomorrow?
Yeah, or tonight rather, I guess, theoretically. And hey, they might drop it early. You never know. That was what they did with Obi-Wan.
Yeah, they might. I mean,
Disney.
I'm looking forward to Prey.
I'm very excited for Prey. I love Dan Trachtenberg. 10 Cloverfield Lane is great. But I think we're just about out of time here. But there's one more thing I want to talk about before we get out of here. We've been talking about the WB merger stuff and how much I dislike a lot of what's been going on behind the scenes with Zaslav. There was something weird happened yesterday in the internet space.
Is what we're gonna close with?
Oh yeah, I have to close with it because I've been watching it play out for the last 24 hours, and I'm just kind of dumbfounded by the entire situation. Because there's no reason that this should be... I'm building this up to be this extraordinary event.
It's really not.
But it's really not. But I can't help but watch the train wreck that is the response to the fact that Cracker Barrel has decided to get in on the Beyond Meat. And the Cracker Barrel fans out there who are enraged by this.
It's funny.
Thank you to Dwayne Burke who brought this to my attention.
It's funny. I remember seeing... a tweet by somebody in
Garth, don't worry. We will check our Streamlabs before we close out. And anyone who wants to get some last Streamlabs in, the links below.
We will go over anything we have not gone over yet.
Yes.
But it's funny. I remember I saw a tweet or something where it's someone was talking about woke music, woke clothes, and woke food. And it's what the hell is woke food? I guess we have the answer. I guess that's what people think woke food is, just Beyond Meat.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Yeah, they introduced Beyond Meat. They're not fucking making you order it. So why are you so mad? No one is saying that you have to have this. They're not replacing it. This is just for the people who want it. So why are the Cracker Barrel people mad? Because media literacy is dead. And I think that these people are so beyond help that they think that they can't eat anything but it.
Beyond help.
Beyond Meat?
Beyond Meat, Beyond Help.
Yeah, fucking clearly. I am beside myself watching this stuff play out because no one is telling you that you have to... the people at Cracker Barrel aren't going up to you and going, motherfucker, I'm going to force you to eat this fucking meat. That's not how it works. It's not. So why are they so mad?
Look, I will say this as the resident meatitarian here.
Yes, correct.
Yes, if I'm gonna eat something, I prefer at one point had a face.
Yeah, correct.
I think Beyond Meat is a sin against humanity. I've tried. It's not like I've given Beyond Meat its fair shake.
I've made you Beyond Meat in the past.
You've made me Beyond Meat.
Yeah.
And like you can't tell the difference. Yes, you can. You can absolutely tell the difference. But people who are vegan, people who are vegetarian, for so long, have been devoid of taste and flavor in their lives.
So, like most of the people at Cracker Barrel who are really upset.
No. Cracker Barrel is taste and flavor.
I'm talking about the people, though.
I really want Cracker Barrel.
I mean, look, I do like Cracker Barrel. I'm not going to lie to you.
Cracker Barrel is some good shit. The point is, for so long, they have been oppressed, they have been ridiculed, and they have been, more importantly, they have been living a tasteless existence. And Beyond Meat gives them a chance to maybe kind of understand.
Have you seen some of these comments, though? Like, these people are like, we're not even going to eat there anymore. Why?
I'm like, look, vegans deserve to have sausage, too.
I want to shout out, by the way. I built up the story in the chat, and like people are like, "What is he talking about?" Ed Haskell was like, "Is he going to talk about the Alex Jones stuff?" Nope, Cracker Barrel.
We will know Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, I could talk about the Alex Jones stuff and how I'm pretty sure his attorneys were basically out to get him.
Bottom line, Alex Jones is an asshole. There's your fucking story.
You know what that is? It's the end of the Lincoln Lawyer. What happened to Alex Jones yesterday was the end of the Lincoln Lawyer.
That's straight up how Lincoln Lawyer ended.
Yeah, like that was a straight up the ending of the Lincoln Lawyer.
Well,
not the Lincoln Lawyer TV show on Netflix that is not good.
Which is surprising to me because I like David Kelly's stuff.
I do too. It didn't work for me. I'm a huge fan of the book series, and I really love that first movie with McConaughey. I could not stress enough how good that movie is. If you've never seen it, please check it out. We did kind of spoil the ending, but I'm not going to tell you exactly how or why. But what happened to Alex Jones was the end of the Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah.
It's fucking hysterical.
The point is, look, vegans deserve to have good tasting things too, because they've been deprived of it for so long. And Beyond Meat is, I guess, that for them. I don't know. Again, I've tried Beyond Meat. It's not good, but it's look. No, they're not getting rid of pork sausage. They're not getting rid of real bacon.
You fucking think that they were with how these people were acting.
They're not getting rid of the real food for real people. Yes,
Yeah.
I said vegans are not real people.
No.
I'm joking.
I was gonna say we have vegans in the chat. Be nice.
I'm kidding, vegans. Don't come after me.
But it was kind of a culmination of literally everything I've felt about anything lately. Just watching this play out, where I was like, "Oh yeah, meat literacy is beyond dead." Kind of like Beyond Meat is now at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
And so we're just watching it play out. And I was dumbfounded looking at the comments where people were, like you said, calling it woke, saying that Cracker Barrel sold out, saying that they'd never eat there again, how it was tarnishing the brand. And it was like, yeah, God forbid people who can't have meat have fucking options. Yeah. Like, what the fuck, man?
Look, they're getting tired of just pancakes. They can't eat the chicken. So
what
are they supposed to do?
I don't know, man. It was fucking hysterical watching it play out.
Bottom line, though, Cracker Barrel's some good shit.
Oh, I thought you were going to say bottom line. Alex Jones is a fucking loser.
Other bottom line, Alex Jones fucking sucks.
All right. So before we get out of here, we got a couple more Streamlabs we got to take a look at. Garth donated once more. Thank you, Garth.
Thank you, Garth.
Breaking news, Zaslav has just evicted the Animaniacs from the Warner Brothers Warner Tower. Holy shit. Yakko, Wacko, and Dot are set to have a press conference tomorrow.
Oh, no.
I look.
The Warner Brothers are homeless.
I hear that there's a great lawyer that they could work with that was just working with Alex Jones. That dude probably needs a new job after yesterday.
Yeah, but I will say, speaking of Warner Brothers real quick, something that we didn't mention. If I'm Kevin Feige, I'm calling to offer a deal in Bilal movie immediately.
And Leslie Grace. Get all three of them to make a movie together.
Like, I don't know if they go up to it, but like maybe they do Secret Wars. Who knows?
I mean, honestly, I'd be fucking down. I'd be super fucking down, because say what you will about Bad Boys for Life, like, you don't have to love the movie. I personally do. It's fucking great. The action scenes in that movie are so fantastic and shot so well. Those dudes are incredibly talented.
Yeah, and I think what the MCU does, it kind of, in a way, for a lot of directors, kind of elevate talent.
Yeah, totally.
Because, like, look, not to disrespect the Russo brothers. Like, the Russo brothers are very talented, but like, the stuff outside the MCU they've done in recent years, not quite up to par with what they've done in the past. So
now, guys,
like,
I've not disliked a movie more and more as time has gone on than I feel with The Gray Man. Chance and I paid to fucking watch that in the theater.
We did.
We fucking paid to watch that in the theater because I couldn't wait a week to watch it at home.
You kind of were like, hey, I want to see The Gray Man. I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
It was supposed to be Netflix's most expensive film. So I wanted to see their most expensive action film on a big screen because that tells me that the action should be great. Children, let me tell you.
Let's tell you a story.
The action was not only not great, but almost hard to watch at times. There is a sequence that is so bafflingly terrible.
Involving
the plane that I will never know how it made it into a big budget action film.
I don't understand how that movie turned out the way it did, and it's weird because like that's the Russos working with their and because like Cherry you can chalk that up to a bad script, which it kind of is. So
I didn't know The Gray Man was based on a book. Thank you, Garth.
It was, yeah, based on a couple books actually, which I guess we're getting sequels about. But like Cherry you can make it chuck it to a bad script. Like this one is done by their same writers who did most of their MCU stuff.
Yeah, like McFeely was one of them.
Yeah, Marcus
McFeely, and then I can't remember the other one's name off the top of my head.
Christopher Marcus and Steve McFeely.
Yes, thank you. Tim Sim says, and we're getting a Gray Man sequel as well instead of a Nice Guy sequel. Yeah, it just tells you the state of people watching movies.
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder if Nice Guys would have done better on streaming.
Honestly, probably. And for how long I championed HBO Max making a Nice Guys like mini series to round out the trilogy, never gonna happen. Probably now.
Not now. Thanks, Zaslav.
Yeah, fuck you, Zaslav.
What else you got?
We got Allison Salamoni.
Oh, hey,
Allison. Hi, Allison. She said, "Hi, friend. Just wanted to say hello. We appreciate it. Thank you for the donation." And then one final Streamlab from Tim Sim, who said, "As Jacob said that the NFL is back, I also say that the Premier League and European football is back, as I anticipate being disappointed yet again by Manchester United." I mean, look, that's
tradition at that point.
Yeah. I mean, look, I like Man U. I like watching Man U, but I get sad every time.
Like it's the same thing. You build up like, okay, this is gonna be the year, and then crushing disappointment
every year.
Kind
of like this stream. I hope we weren't a crushing disappointment at least, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out for the last 2 hours. So many of you have been here like consecutively from the beginning. It felt good to be back. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments below. Comment, text us, find me on Twitter, PJ_Campbell.
Twitter, ChanceWars_91.
We also have a Twitter account for the channel, PJCN Official. If you have not already, please go over and follow it. As we kind of said earlier, we are going to be doing this a lot. So much so we may be doing morning shows.
Yeah.
It's going to be 10 a.m. starting next Monday, most likely. Although, going to be honest with you guys, it's going to get a little weird because we have to travel soon. So we might have to wait a little bit on some of it, but we're going to be doing a morning show, 10 a.m. PT, so 1 o'clock for all you on the East Coast. But we're going to be doing a 2-hour show, just hanging out, having fun, talking about what's been happening in movies, talking about the next Cracker Barrel. Who knows? As long as you guys send us stories, we'll look into it. We'll talk about it. It's fun.
What was it? Popeyes and Juice Beyond Chicken?
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Black America in shambles because Popeyes and Juice Beyond Chicken.
I'm happy to be back. You guys can find me also at the Movie Trivia Schmodown until the end of October. We still have quite a few matches left. I hope you guys enjoy them. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night. It's the very last episode of Titans. There's going to be some matches and stuff until our big spectacular finale in October, but it's the last ever Titans. I've really loved Titans, and it was such a great thing, and I'm really sad that we finally got to Titans and now the show is ending. It's kind of a bummer, but tune in. It's going to be a good one. Until next time, folks, we will be around. Just find us. Much love, everyone. See you on the next one.